Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic of this discussion is, what are you fighting for? Whenever I talk to people about black and white issues, my main objective is for us to have complete separation from these people. If that's not our main focus, I don't know what else should be. When you focus on separating from whites, you have to pay attention to owning and controlling your own businesses and essential needs. You have to focus on governing your own people, establishing your own laws, determining your own way of life. You cannot do that in an integrated society when all the current powers that be lies in the hands of your mortal enemy. It's just a waste of time thinking that you can achieve or obtain any type of significant lifestyle that you feel comfortable enough that you could pass on to your future generations when all the power is out of your authority. There's no point in that. Listening to Al Sharpton begging, fighting, arguing with these people over voting rights, over abortion rights. We agree with these people on nothing. Yet, at the end, we want them to give us a vaccine. We want them to own all our essential businesses. We want them to establish the laws that we go by, that they don't follow themselves. And this pattern here makes no social sense whatsoever. And the thing is, as hard as we work, for as long as we worked in this country, when we die, we won't have not one business or industry that's an essential provider of services for our people. Every time we get hungry, thirsty, need clothes, electronics, anything, we got to go to somebody else. That's sad. And I lay this at the feet of our so-called social leaders, especially the ones that's been doing this thing for 30, 40 years. The Farrakhan's, the Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons. It is absolutely ridiculous that you can lead, what he said the other day, 50,000 people marching for voting rights. And you ain't got not one political candidate amongst all of them. That makes absolutely no sense. Not one political candidate among 50,000. It's sad. It's sad. And I'm asking them, what are we fighting for? When you don't agree with me on separating from these people, when you don't agree with separating from whites, then you're fighting for whites. Because they have pulled you out of your natural environment, trained you like an animal to perform in their plants, their businesses, their industries. Now they can walk amongst you without a whip or a chair because you've been totally conditioned. And when you fight against separation, you're fighting for slavery. It's just as simple as that. When you fight against separation, you're fighting for somebody else determining your way of life, somebody else making the decisions for you. You're fighting for living in a permissive state where everything you want to do, everything that you need, you got to ask for permission or allowance to do it. I find no pleasure in that. I find no comfort in that. How can you live and anytime Whitey want to turn the dial up or down, he can make it hot and cold, start, stop, whatever it is that you want to do. We own no pivotal steps to secure our way of life. Every time we take a step, we got to go to somebody else for a handout or a hand up. Like I said, I lay this on the fault of the leaders. Because they should not be taking the funding from the people if they are not doing anything to empower the people. You know, when you marching and against whites, like I said, they don't want you to vote. You marching and fighting against them because you're unemployed, your wages, police reform, being underpaid, overworked, over prosecuted. We don't agree with whites on nothing. Why would any race of people want whites to have all ownership and control over their way of life, let alone black people? When are we going to have enough of this? When you fight for separation, you're fighting for the ability and the power to say no. You can't say no to nothing that whitey offer you because you have no alternative. It's not hard. You got a mother and a father. Mother never want to give you nothing. Daddy give you everything you want. You can live like that and live happy because the two of them is going to work together. You're not going to be able to go to mama for everything, and you're not going to be able to go to daddy for everything. They're going to work together. But when you get of age and time for you to go out into the world, you're going to know there's balance. Here we are, we're living under white authority for 500 years, and we don't know anything about taking ownership and control of our way of life. Here we are, babies, grown babies, and we still fighting to have somebody else breastfeed us, to somebody to cuddle, to suckle with. This is pathetic. I'm fighting for my people to be able to stand up on their own, determine their own way of life. But y'all keep fighting against me because you want to live on your knees. Want to run everything across whitey to see if it's okay for you to do this. And then if it's something that we can do that's beyond his margin that he wants us to be in, or beyond his control, you cringe from it. When you fight for separation, you're fighting for restoring order that your people once had. But when you fight for segregation, you fighting to keep an order that whites never had. Whites never had developed nothing on their own. And if they have, put it in the link. Put it in the comment. Show me any library, any museum that have the works of arts that whites nurtured, cultivated all on their own. Where are these exhibits at? They have nothing. They ain't know anything about leadership. They ain't know anything about politics. They didn't know anything about bathing until they came across blacks. And when you look at the recent posts that they've been putting out there, they still don't know anything about bathing. And these are the people that we want to lead us. These are the people that we want to trust to get vaccinated. They want to sit up here and tell you that, trust us, we'll vaccinate you, but you can't sue us. Get that? What is that? When your mindset is for separation, you have to think about living in a participatory governing system where the people who govern you and the people work together to establish the laws. Laws come from the people up, not from the powers that be down. This is when you fight against separation, you playing right into whitey's hands because they got all the businesses and industries already set up. And anytime you get ready, they got a spot open for you to go. But when you fight against, when you fight for separating, It threatens, well, not really necessarily say threatens whites, because they still gonna be fine. They just won't have 100% of black money coming to their stores, but they still gonna be rich. So it's not about the money; it's about the control, because everything that they have is tied up into blacks. They don't want blacks to go anywhere. You see the memes, you see the posts when it's that we got to come together, we got to be together. It's a dozen other races of people in this country, but the main ones they focus on is black and white. You see it in the movies, you see it everywhere, and this is an existence that is detrimental to us because we have no ownership and control. When you're fighting for separation, you're fighting to restoring the order and the pride and the heritage and culture that we once had. That is important for us to be able to have to regain that and raise our sons and daughters, in the way they supposed to be, as opposed to giving our kids power to change their sex, to determine whether they want to be a boy or a girl. Are you serious? Even in the Bible, um, to restore order, to restore the way, the intent that God wanted to live, He cast out Satan and the third of the angels because they was just disruptive. And if God can cast out the devil to restore order in heaven, we who are made in God's image, we can cast out these earthly devils and return us back to restore the order that we had, to live in the communities that we were meant to be. Remember that. Whites can never offer you together what we could achieve on our own. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this message, please share it. And if you like this content, consider subscribing to this channel. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.